Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to KP. Annalise here. So Abba was leading me to share this part in parent wounds. Um I can't remember what part this is. It might be part 11, might be part 12. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, make sure you bring the word back to Abba. Make sure you know if it's for you, what parts are for you, and if it's a right now word or a shelf word. Make sure you bring this back to Abba. So, um, we were watching, what was it? It was a it was a movie, and you already know me and my anime, my Asian dramas, of course my Asian cartoons. Look, you already know me. And with that, I was watching one of the Asian animated movies. It's called The Boy and the Dragon. Very cute movie. Very cute movie. I like it. Anyways, it's basically like this little kid who is a reincarnate of a legendary Saiyan. He's a legendary like I want to say Saiyan. Anywho, he's like a legendary person or whatever, and he basically took out somebody that was very evil or whatever, and locked him up in these chains or whatever, like 500 years ago, whatever happened. Um, excuse me. So he also had this dragon that basically helped in the process. But when them being reincarnated, they were reincarnated as like little kids, and the dragon was like this little worm looking thing. And so the what you call it goes on, you know, how it's like they cause mischief, they're kind of outcasted, they don't know why they're not included in everything. And that's prophetic in the space of like the chosen ones. When you're chosen, and especially when you're elite chosen, you do not get away with what everybody else gets away with. That's number one. Number two, you aren't necessarily accepted with everybody. You're kind of like an outcast, a black sheep. You're not really, how you say, in the space of being seen and heard, and you know, you're kind of considered that troublemaker, especially if it's like, um, maybe you caused something, or maybe like, uh, you know, in the movie he was running after the little dragon worm thingy after he done found him or whatever, and it blew fire and basically blew up the little firework warehouse that they had. So all the fireworks was going off. Very pretty. Um, Lighted up like dynamite. That was for somebody. Anywho, um, and he got in trouble for that. And in the space of him getting in trouble for that, um, he's still like, hey, get your kid, and he ruined my shop, and he ruined this, and he ruined that. And it was very cute the way the mom kind of covered for him. And the father was basically like, covering for him too, I'll pay for it, etc., etc. But the whole point was that he was destined for something. And in being destined for something, um, he was destined to basically step into this role and get this what they called a golden body, and that bestowed on him so that he can have his it's basically like the new body that came with him having this new power in order to defeat the evil person thing that was locked up. And what's happening here is in the movie, um, because he couldn't wait, and because he was being impatient with him basically getting that golden body bestowed on him, like greedy for that power and not really taking the time to, um, how do you say, do it correctly. Because it's not just about the outer appearance, it's not just how well you can fight, it's also about your level of self-discipline and self-control and that inner peace. And so, um, the teacher's trying to teach him that in the space of like, hey, you have to have this inner peace within you. You can't sit here try to do all of this and whatnot. You're not ready for it, because if I give it to you, it's going to basically kill you. So that's in the reflection of God. There's something that is so great for you and so grand for you with these new garments, with this new body, with this new wineskin, the new wine into new wineskin. There's so great for you that if I give it to you before you're ready, it will crush you. So you have to come to this space of being renewed and having that new skin before I'm able to pour that new wine into you there, because the whole point was him being how do you say, ready inwardly in order for him to be bestowed on that body, that golden body. So that signifying like the new wine with the new wineskins is basically him having that power. And in him having that power, it was a space of like he was so ready for it that the little dragon was his little friend. It was a little cute little thing, um a little chubby. He went and he got the golden body for him because the dad had hid it. The dad didn't want him to be, I think he called him arhat arhat luong or something like that. And he didn't want him to be that, so he basically like, with the help of the monk, he hid it for him because he's like, he's not ready. And the dad was like, I don't really want him to do that. And so they basically worked together to hide it from him. The dragon found it, and the dragon gave it to the son, and the son basically was trying to put it on, but it backfired. In the space of it backfiring, he thought he killed his mom, but it was actually one of the little evil minions from the little thing that was locked up that came and killed his mom. So in the midst of it, the father was like, "Oh, this is all your fault. Your mom would still be here if you weren't sitting here eager to, like, what you call, basically blaming the son to say this the reason why your mom's dead. She already had a sickness and he was trying to cure it." And that's the reason why the kid was so eager to get the little golden body, because he's thinking like, hey, once I get this golden body, like, I'll be able to cure my mom. That's why he was so eager for it. It wasn't in a space of like almighty power. It was just he cared for his mom. He wanted to protect the village, protect the people, and he wanted to find that cure for his mom. In that space, uh the dad blamed him for it, not knowing it was the little evil henchman or whatever. Then the little evil henchman man came to him afterward and was basically like, yo, you steal the golden body for me or whatever, you can keep your son, and you don't have to sit here you know watching him turn into this other person or whatever. And the dad, being in that emotional state, being in that grieving state, and then losing his wife, of course he didn't want to deal with that, as far as in losing his son too. And so he basically, when it came time for him to get the golden body, he took it and then gave it to the bad guy. Then the bad guy admitted, like, hey, I done killed your wife and you just gave me this. And the dad's like, give it back. And it's just like, bro, come on now, what you doing? But then the little henchman or whatever, takes it to the evil guy, who basically breaks out and is now just like, he's like, now everything will turn to ash. And so like, there's fire, there's brimstone, everything just burning down, the forest burning down, everything. And even the little pudgy little dragon worm thing, he's like, this is all his fault. And so what I'm getting at here, and what Abba was speaking to me heavy, was this space of, with the destiny being set. And because the parents don't understand it, excuse me, because the parents don't understand it, they're always in this way of like getting in the way of it. And because they don't understand it, they're always trying to manipulate and or control and or like basically take hold and steer you where they want you to go. So the whole time he's basically being real hard on him, wanting him to do XYZ. So the kid doesn't feel accepted already. And then there's a space of like, he's like, hey, why do you always knock everything that I want to do? Why do you always sit here and like basically like, dismiss everything that I'm trying to say that I want to do, all of it? Why do you do that? And the father really didn't have anything to say. Now, with this, the father aspect, it didn't necessarily seem like he was jealous of him. It just seemed like he was like wanting more for him. Um, he just wanted that's what it seemed like. Um, but with this, as far as in the space goes, with just like the getting in the way, it's like a lot of times you have a calling on your life. The ones that are called, the ones that are chosen, especially the ones that are elite chosen, you have a calling on your life. And with your calling on your life, it is not going to look normal. It is not going to look like how everybody else looks. It's going to be peculiar. It's going to be unorthodox. It's going to be agricultural. It's going to be um, something strange. It's going to be something weird. It's going to be something just out of the blue. See, I do a new thing. And it's going to be that space of like, how do you say, it's just not normal. And because it's not normal, and because it's not in the, how do you say, the repertoire of the parent is the one that's basically trying to correct it because it's unfamiliar. Not only is it unfamiliar, it just like, okay, we're it's strange. And a lot of times as human beings, when we don't understand something or we don't know something, we fear it. And this is where a lot of this space, where he was in this space of fear of also losing his son, in the reflect of that, as Abba was speaking to me, this is a lot of the parents that they don't understand it, they don't get it. The calling on your life, the things that you have to do, whether that's the being a dreamer, being a seer, the apostolic, the preacher, it does not matter if it even can be in the space of like arts, because a lot of people have this like weird stigma towards art. Like if you want to be an actual artist that draws pictures and paintings and whatnot, oh, you can't make a living with that. Or you want to be a musician and as a real artist, oh, you can't make a living with that. There's a lot of like all this stigma about it. And it's literally kind of like that. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Where it's like you want to do something with your life and you see the vision in it, you see the power in it, you see the way that you could make it happen in the space of like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is, and just making it reality is what I mean, because you cannot do it by yourself. Of course, Abba is the one that's making that come come to pass, is by his spirit in the space of that. But because of that talent that he's giving you, there's a desire that you have in you to pursue that. And that desire that you have in you to pursue that, there's a level of you just like knowing that this is your life, this is your calling, this is what you want to do, etc., etc. But there's that space of like, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a nurse, you need to do this. Like there's that level of them trying to steer that in a different direction. And so you see this space of him trying to steer that in a different direction, his destiny. But you see how he didn't step into his destiny or into his calling, because the way that the dad snatched the little golden body or whatever. And when he snatched it, it was this space of like everything went into chaos. You not taking your rightful position, God got this. So of course, if you're not taking your rightful position, He will raise up another like David. It's like you being Saul. Okay, He will raise up another, as in David, and as He did with the prophets, prophet after prophet after prophet, raising up another in that space when it comes to your calling. Not when it comes to marriage, just clarifying that. Not when it comes to marriage. Only when it comes to like, hey, everything else. When it comes to marriage, no. Everything else, yes. He will raise up another in that space of you, like, okay, if you not getting jiggy with it, you not what you call it. Now, of course, it's a space of like his word does not return to him void. So in this space of you being Jonah, running from it, um you're still going to be spat out where you were supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Either way, it's going to come to pass. But it's a matter of like, okay, God can raise up another to go ahead and take care of that. And even still, as you see with Saul, he was still taking care of the kingdom. He was still king until it was time for David to be raised up to be king to take over. So With that being said, there's a level to like the parents, they just don't understand. And this is the space where it's not only bigger than you, it's bigger than them. Where he took the little golden body or whatever, it made everything come out of whack. It made everything collapse. It made everything just go to crap. And all of this fire and everything was just burning up. You are a key to unlocking a lot of things for a lot of people, just like me sitting here telling my testimony, giving the things that I've learned, giving the things that I was given me to speak and share and whatnot. There's a level of that that you have to now go and do the same. And when you go and do the same, you're helping the people that are coming behind you. And it's a ripple effect. When you don't stand in that gap, you're leaving souls on the table. You're leaving people on the table. Um, you're leaving even gems for you on the table and your bloodline on the table. When you're not stepping into your purpose, when you're not stepping into your calling, when you're prolonging the process. And so the whole point though is that a lot of times the parents will get in the way of that, in the space of them not understanding it. So it's this space of like shunning, and if it's not the shunning, it's the trying to control you, and if it's not the trying to control you and manipulate you, it's this level of like kind of putting their hands in it to like do things for you, so that you have no choice but to walk out what they want you to walk out. And so um not realizing that you just have a different path. Not only do you have a different path, you are you're a key to something else. And yes, you're a key to not something else. You're a key to like the whole design of it all. Like he was the key to making sure that that little evil thing didn't get out, as well as defeating it if it did get out, as long as he had the little golden body or the power and whatnot. But as the movie goes on, it's this space of like he not only continues to fight the little boy, he continues to fight, he continues to step into what he was called to do, even without the power that he thought he needed, or the power that was spoken and as far as in that golden body that was he was supposed to have or whatever, that came with that new body and that came with that power. He didn't have to have that when it came down to the fight. Now, at the beginning of the fight, he was getting tone whopped. However, it was almost like, thank you, Holy Spirit. It was almost like Holy Spirit taking over because of the way that not the gold in him, the light in him shined so hard, shined so forth that he was able to basically get what the golden body would have given. Basically he didn't need the golden body all along. Now it took his father dying. After his mother died, it took his father dying for him to come to that space. And in his father dying and coming to that space, there's the level of like, um, you know how it does that space where the parents start talking to them like, hey, you got this, like, go do what you're destined to do or whatever. It was like that's what he needed, that encouragement, in order to tap into the light that was in him in order for it to shine forth. Basically he didn't need the little golden body thing the whole time, and that was already built within him, in his space of like, hey, that's already built within you. So no matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter what how they're trying to control, no matter how they manipulate, no matter the trauma, no matter the way that they try and come through and steer things this way, no matter how they shun you, no matter how they outcast you, no matter how they talk about you, no matter how they trash you, no matter what they do, even being the parent, no matter what they do, they cannot snuff out that light inside of you. They cannot snuff out that light inside of you. And so walking with that, he basically, it was like Holy Spirit just like you could see the switch. He went from little boy to just spewing light, and in the space of him spewing that light, he was able to defeat the little thing that got out or whatever, and was like creating chaos. And even though, and there was a part that the little evil thing, he got real big, and even though he thought he was real big, he was just like, boy, please. He said, let's see who's bigger. And basically, he was like literally 1,000 times bigger. And he basically just snuffed the little baby out and he turned into this little teeny bird. And all of that to say, like, it was just speaking to me heavy in the space of this movie of like how the parents can be very much so getting in the way of your calling, not only getting in the way of your calling, trying to control it, trying to steer it, trying to manipulate it, trying to put their hands in it, but they don't understand it. And even the way that they may try to shun you, the way they may try to talk about you or make you feel a certain type of way. No matter the trauma, no matter the trigger, no matter the drama, no matter the toxicity, no matter what is being thrown at you, um, as the parent, remember they are also, as we've been talking about this, remember they also have grown up in such a way that they don't understand. And what is going on with you as you are growing bigger, as you are growing into and stepping into the calling that you have, there's a level of them just they don't understand it, and because they don't understand it and because they don't get it, there's a level of fear that takes over. And because they still love you in a way, there's a level of them trying to them trying to steer that. You could see that with the movie. It was just like he was trying to be in this space of almost like protecting him, but it's like you can't shield you can't shield your children from everything, and then especially from their calling. They have to step into that because not only is it better for them, this is a space of, thank you Holy Spirit, um idolizing. Idolizing not only can look like you worshiping other things, but idolizing can also look like in a space of you holding on to something so tightly, holding on to someone so tightly that you do not allow them to be everything that they are called to be. It hurts you because you're blocking it and it's taking a toll on you. But then it hurts them because they're not stepping into what they need to step into to be able to be who they're supposed to be, to go ahead and set free who they're supposed to set free. Get me? So Abba was just leading me to share that in the space of like watching that movie. It really spoke heavy on that space of like sometimes the parents can just be in the way in the space of like trying to tamper with stuff as far as in your calling because they don't understand it. And thank you, Holy Spirit. He was also pointing out the part where the kid, he could have taken that space where he got blamed for his mother's death, as well as the dad taking the golden body from him. He could have took those things and ran with it as things to harbor, things to allow him to get him down, things to allow him to not step into his calling, things to allow him to literally be just choked up about. He could have been like, no, I'm not doing it because he blamed me for it and it wasn't my fault, because it really wasn't. It was a little henchman that killed her. And then in the space of the dad taking the golden body, he could have been in this space of just defeat, in the space of like, now I can't fight him because you took the golden body and that's what I needed. Da, da, da. No, he still had the courage and the bravery to still step into what he needed to step into, not taking it out on his dad and even embracing his dad. And so when he moved on with that, there's a level of like healing that you have when you're able to like move on from it, where it's no longer chaining you up, it's no longer captivating you, it's no longer taking you out, it's no longer choking you up. It's a level of you walking and stepping in who you're called to be with no apologies, and not even trying to be in this space of like people pleasing, performance, perfectionism, not even trying to, you know, adhere to your parent, but accepting them for who they are, as well as, how do you say, loving them for who they are, even if that means loving them from a distance, and just accepting it and letting it be what it is and walking in what you are called to walk in, because that cannot stop you. That cannot snuff out your light. And so, yes, that's what Abba had for me to share for this in particular video in the space of that movie. But yeah, takes us back to Abba. Test the spirit by the spirit. Um, like, comment, subscribe, do the thing. Remember, God is love, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I will be back on the next video. Ciao.